Right now to the Shady Ass Tea right here on hot7025fm.com. I am fine as Carrice, and I'm here with my cousin host. Sir, how you feeling? You feeling all right? We can't really hear you or nothing right now.
I'm actually feeling really, really well. Am I coming in clear? Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Excellent. I'm happy to be here. Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's Tuesday.
Man, Tuesday is always a good day. It's like
It is.
all the drama happens on the weekend, the Monday
Right.
recovery or recount of things. And
Right.
then here we are to spill all of the tea, and you may not have heard spilled yet. And as we do each and every Tuesday, we deliver the shady ass tea. Sir, what's the tea?
Well, first and foremost, I want to let you know that it is shark attack season. So there has been the very first shark attack has been reported. So we are officially in shark attack season. I think the man survived. I just want you to know, if you're on the beach, if you're outside, if you're swimming in the oceans, the sharks they trying to have a hot girl. They're out and about. They're trying to have a hot girl summer too. They're trying to eat the hot girls for the summer. You know what I'm saying? So be very out in the hoochie daddy shorts, out being a hot girl. Be very careful. The sharks are out. The real life sharks.
Well, y'all be careful with the sharks and everything.
Right, I'm just saying. I was like, damn, not sharks.
Because they usually always have, like, even during Shark Week, they have like a whole docu about the sharks and all that and what the sharks doing.
Right.
But like, what do you go to the beach and be like, oh, I'm gonna probably get bit by a shark today?
You know what? When I go to the beach, well, because I'm in Houston, the beaches are not gonna have sharks. It's just shrimp on the beach. You know what I'm saying?
Not crawfish.
No, crawfish is freshwater. They're gonna be just Gulf shrimp, all in the water, and I think it's too dark and brown on these Houston beaches for the sharks to even try to do anything. It's those West California beaches where the water's a little clearer. Hawaii gonna have some sharks. Florida definitely gonna be sharks in the water.
It's sharks in and out of the water.
Come on, it's sharks in and out of the water.
In and outside of the water, child. Okay.
So yeah, no, but see, I want to go to the beach. I want to lay down and like lay in the sand and luxuriate.
And the kid end up with a half an arm because you're trying to relax on the beach. It's rather ridiculous.
It really is. So yeah, definitely be careful on these beaches. Since we're talking about arms being lost and teeth being lost and wigs being pulled off and tracks being pulled out, Blueface and his mama and his sister and his girlfriend and his manager and his girlfriend and his sister's boyfriend got an altercation this weekend. Can you hear me? I thought you were saying here you can't hear me.
Correct. And
so what happened is that Blueface's sister, I believe her name is Callie Miller, came to his house with her boyfriend to jump on Blueface. Mm-hmm. And he promptly got his ass whipped, right? Got his ass whipped, knocked out cold. And then his sister got into a fight with Christian. I don't know how to say the girl's name. I don't know if it's Christian, if it's Christian. I want to say Christian because I feel like that's a better name. Christian Rock got in a fight with the sister. Now, 18 months ago, Blueface's sister Callie and his mama jumped on Christian and knocked her tooth out. Right? That was about a year and a half ago. Yes, on Sunday, she got her lick back with the sister and whooped that ass. And so in the video that Whack 100 posted, Whack 100 is Blueface's manager. She's saying on the dead homies, listen, I've never been beat up that badly before. I've lost a fight, but it was to my parents, so it don't really count. They really fucked me up. But the idea that she was still like on my dead homies, like it with her knocked out boyfriend in her lap, was crazy.
You are too tall and too big to be losing fights out here in these streets, child.
Listen, my mama was, she had hands, like she really, she, I'm not ashamed to say she whooped my ass. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? I'm
I
not,
mean,
listen, you
it
can't
wasn't like you
win them
gonna hit her
all.
back anyway.
Right, like what
So
I'm gonna do, you know, it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? So Whack 100 posted on his page, at Callyway, you jumped and knocked Christian's tooth out 18 months ago. She didn't cry about it. You came for the smoke, and the woman got her revenge. Guess we know why you brought backup. Prayers for your husband. Tell him I found 7 of his teeth in the driveway. Send me a mailing address if y'all need them. Be safe out there. Hashtag meet this, available on all platforms.
my my thing is that why is Wack always in this mess? Like is he supposed to be someone's manager
He's
or is
Blueface's
he
manager.
right? I know, but I'm saying like why doesn't he manage? Like why is he always in the middle of some
Well,
mess?
what is he supposed to do if his client's parent or sister, his family, their family members show up, and that's really a family altercation. Like there's nothing he's
What do you think that he's supposed to do as a
I think it
professional, respectable manager?
honestly, I think what he's supposed to do is what he did. He posted, for real. He posted. He didn't post the fight. He did not post that part. He posted the end when he was already knocked out, and she had in the video her track is like hanging out, right, just hanging down on the ground. At first I thought she had long weave, and then I saw it again, and it was just a track hanging. So I think he did what he was supposed to do. He used the opportunity. He used this negative thing that happened.
Situation to
Yeah,
make
this
it
negative.
something great.
Yeah.
Like,
So we're
yeah.
talking about Blueface and talking about Meet This, and I think he did what he was supposed to do. He didn't say anything that was incorrect. They did jump on this lady 18 months ago, and her tooth is still knocked out. Which is kind of crazy to me. How like
Is
you
that
and
the one who got the tattoo of his
yes,
face right here, right on her neck?
yes, like have him buy you a tooth, ma'am. Why are you walking around with no tooth and a neck
What?
tattoo?
Both of them. Okay, like why are you walking around with both? Why are you walking around
Right,
with no tooth, no
and a
place
neck
to
tattoo.
live, and a tattoo of this man's
Well,
face
she can live with
on
him.
But didn't he just put her out?
I don't know. Did he put her out?
Remember, there was like a whole situation with Wack
Well, no, I think
at the
they're back
house.
together now.
Goodbye. Thank
She
y'all.
was there. I mean,
20 minutes. The
they're
show is
no,
done
no.
here.
Okay, so I'm not gonna judge the state of anybody's relationship. I'm just gonna say that they are. I think they're back together. They have a very on again, off again, blood on the wall again, steal your car again relationship. And so that is the nature of their relationship. I think right now that's why she was there when the sister pulled up. So I think, but I really do like. I hasten that maybe the next time they go like splurging, they should go to the dentist and get her a tooth. They're not really that expensive. I can recommend a really good dentist also.
You think
If
so?
you, I
I
know
got
I do.
one
I
too. I
I
got
got
one.
one. I got one, and that she does really good work. So hit me up, and I will definitely let you know.
Goodness gracious. Well, that's that. I mean, it's a whole ghetto mess, and Wack is always involved in some ghetto mess, and I'm just not really here for it.
Is it ghetto mess, or is it
Yes.
like young people? Like I think it's just they're really well. Blueface and his girlfriend are very young. They are. I think he's like 22, right?
Do
Like they're
you
like
do you hear about Jay-Z being involved in this or Beyonce being involved in things like this?
right, but Jay Z is 50. Beyonce is almost 40.
How old do you
Like,
think Wack is?
well, I don't know how old is Whack 100.
He too damn old to be out here with the shenanigans. Like
Siri, how old is Whack
seriously.
100? Because we need to know.
I
The
mean,
people
I can use the Google or whatever,
use the
but
Googler and just let me see because I want him. Well, I mean, what I'm saying is that Whack can't control other people's behavior, right? Now, can he profit off that behavior? Absolutely. Will he profit off that behavior? Surely. But I mean, he can't control that. He didn't know the man's sister was going to show up and with her husband. He didn't know that was happening. And I listen. I think it's funny. I'm not even gonna lie. I
Yeah, I think it's a ghetto mess, and I think that he's always
He is
involved in the ghetto
43.
mess. Like I said, he's a grown man.
He is an adult man. Yes.
Yes. Like seriously, like tame your people and their situations, and or if you're going to handle certain situations, why are they getting why does it even go to the internet? Like we don't know
Right.
anything about Chloe Chloe Bailey's situations that she may have had with old boy who's locked up pushing P for pushing
Right.
P. I mean, we
Right.
don't know. Like, and that's how it should be. Okay, we should not know what it is. She just write a song about it, like the here it go type of behavior.
Well, I mean, again, I think that with Blueface, it's a different scenario. I think that Blueface and Chloe Bailey are two different people, and I think that Blueface is coming from a place of probably from a really toxic environment and trying to grow out of that, and so allowing him to do
Grow out of
that.
it? No.
Yeah, I think I don't
You
think
think
that
he's
this is
trying to grow out
something.
of that ridiculous behavior?
I really do. I hope so. Because there was a point in time where his mother and his sister were living with him, and they were talking about they were going to expose him. They was trying to take advantage of him, and he kicked them out. And so I really do think he's trying to be better. But I mean, he's like I said, he's like 22 years old. Blueface is very very young. Now Wack is an older guy. You know, he is an adult man. But the situation didn't happen to Wack. It happened around Wack. And so he was just there to record and do his job and
And
get
and
it.
instigate and because that's what's happening. Like I'm not even gonna play like that's I don't know. Long story short, Whack 100 is
Is
whack.
Blueface's manager, and he did what he put. We are talking about Blueface. We're talking about his. We're not done talking about the music. I wish we were talking about the music and not something that was happening in his personal life. But it is what it is.
Hmm.
So
Okay. Well,
yeah,
we'll leave that that
we'll leave that. So we're gonna stay on fights. We're gonna move from physical fights though to
to the
uh
internet.
to the internet fights, and we're
Child.
gonna talk about Monique and DL. I didn't. First of all, I never knew what DL stood for. Can we say that I thought DL didn't mean anything. I thought it was like a stage name, and DL didn't mean anything, but it means Darren Lynn. I didn't know his name was Lynn,
I thought it meant what it meant.
and so I'm not gonna do that. And so
I mean, sometimes you got to get yourself, in the news during Pride Month
I
for
don't
the
think
right reasons.
I don't think that's the case at all. But so they are both essentially saying the same thing.
Hmm.
I was the headline. I am the headliner. Okay. I don't open for nobody. I don't do oohs and ahs. I am not the opening act. I close the show.
Hmm.
And Monique kind of ranted a little bit on stage about she's supposed to be the last motherfucker on stage, and she been in the game. She got her general rant. Anytime she begins a rant, it starts with her credentials, right? Like who am I, what I've done.
As it should.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's how rant should start. We're gonna start with the facts, right? We facts are facts. And DL responds and says that she was mistaken, that he was actually the headliner, and he posts, the lineup that he had and his deal memo. Now,
I'm gonna share the memo.
please and thank you.
My thing is that it's like we're not providing memos as a uh as what we would call a
A,
contract.
a service, yeah, a
Like
contract,
it's not that. So why are you even acting like it's that? Like seriously. So this is a memo. Like it's like
right?
you're getting a memo email or someone sending you a memo via fax if you still use that. Like
Via facsimile,
right. It's like, are you serious? Like what are we doing here?
right? And so she pointed that out. She says, "Hey, that's a deal memo. That is
Mhm.
not the deal.
Right.
That's a memo." And then so she posts her contract, and so they're going back and forth. And what it looks like to me, and I'll be completely honest, that they both got told the same thing by the promoter, so
Hmm.
they could sign, right?
That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like that we're on some BS.
Right. It sounds like the promoter was on some BS, and now they're facing their energy towards one another when they should probably
Reach
be
out.
talking. Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, they should definitely reach out to the promoter because the promoter seems like he played both of them.
Right. He
So,
because they did them on different dates, which is it's not
uh,
uncommon to have different
right.
dates, but it was
And
like
the thing is that when DL posted that, like, oh, this was the date that they did so and so and so, I don't understand what the purpose of that was because what does it matter what date it was?
right. The contract should be the contract.
Exactly.
Right. And so I think what he was saying was that maybe when you signed your contract, this is what it was, but they changed those things when I signed my contract.
But then they would notify her that the changes are being made. You don't just
Right.
make changes to a contract
Right.
to like
Right.
that's not
But I
exactly
think
how this
that was the
works.
I think that was the point of him posting it, was that he was saying that, look, these things, it changed. You thought you was the headliner, but guess what? I am. And it just feels like a dick swinging contest, honestly.
It
And
doesn't feel like that to me. What it feels like to me is that they tried the promoter played both of them. And
indeed.
then DL thought for whatever reason in his head that he should have been the one
Hmm.
that is the closer. And I'm
Right.
my dude, you're not. I'm sorry. I wouldn't go to a concert, a comedy concert to see DL Hughley. That's just me.
Really?
No, never. I don't think he's funny. And
You
and
don't
then
think DL
and even
Hughley is
after this
funny?
whole pandemic thing, I think he's coonish. So
Whoa.
all of the things that
You
he
think
posts on his
DL?
social, all the things that he posts on his social media page, the things that
Uh,
he's posted about uh um the vaccine and things like
uh,
that, like he's definitely coonish. But all I'm saying is that I
uh.
personally wouldn't sign up. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, DL Hughley is coming to town.
Right.
No. And then I was just watching the Parkers last a couple days
I
ago.
was.
I
So
mean,
what I'm hearing you say is that you're just more partial to Monique.
no, I'm saying that Monique is funnier. She does have more reputable
Hmm.
accolades. And
Yeah.
even her show was better. She was definitely the headliner for the Queens of Comedy. She
100%.
definitely has an Oscar. She for
Yeah.
sure has a Golden Globe. She for
Yes.
so on and so on and so on and so on. So for me, if I was her, y'all not gonna sun me as a
Uh huh.
black comedian,
Uh huh.
a black female comedian. You're not gonna sun me and act like DL should be there over me. No, that's not the case. And
I.
or the
Mm,
promoter should have had them on separate, tickets.
right. Or
Like you
separate
don't need to.
nights.
Yeah, like should have had them on separate tickets. That you should not have had them together if that's the case.
I think that her accolades are fantastic. I don't think that her Oscar or her Golden Globe or her 20 years in the business has anything to do with her stand up. And so I don't think it should be and I'll just be honest, I don't think it should be something that is, I mean, you can feel how you want to feel. You can
No,
scrunch your
and I'm
face
not
up, that's
saying I'm
fine.
not saying
But
the thing
I
is
think
that
that
even
if we're
so,
talking about stand up, right? If we're talking about a stand up, I think that DL has been working more. He has more material, more current
Monique
material.
just literally had a whole residency here in Las Vegas
I just
for a whole year.
I don't
When
disagree
has
that
DL had a residency in Las Vegas?
I don't think he's ever had a residency in Las Vegas.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like let's make sure let's make sure we're
I'm not gonna denigrate the man's skill set
no,
or
I'm not
his
saying that he's not. Some people may think he's funny. Me personally, I don't.
yeah,
I wouldn't be like, oh, let me go see a DL,
right,
comedy concert. No,
right.
but I'm
I
sure
think it's
I'm sure
hilarious.
he's funny to people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I'm sure he definitely has been in this game for a long time.
right,
He deserves proper
right.
respect by the
I think
people who
that's what
need
I'm
to
saying.
respect him. But they need to understand that okay, the promoter duped both of you. Okay.
Absolutely.
But
That's the more
the
important part.
problem was is that Monique felt like probably in that moment while they were backstage trying to figure out who in the heck was going to go next,
Right.
he probably said something to her that was like, "Oh, you got me hooked up,"
Uh
you
huh.
know, which is
Right.
which is probably what triggered her to be like, you know what? Okay, I'm a comedian. I'm gonna go out here and talk about this man. That's what they do.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's clearly
And Monique is has zero problem addressing who she has a problem with. She has no problem getting down what she mad at. Right. So she is definitely, anytime something goes wrong, anytime something is out of place, she's not industry in that she's gonna like, I'm gonna handle it behind the scenes. I'm gonna handle it. She's gonna handle it right where it happens.
Hmm.
And I honestly I respect that about her. I just think that I really do think the energy was going the wrong way. You know, I 100% I
I
think the
just think
energy.
that we don't know what happened backstage, and
Uh huh.
I in the past 3 years I have paid attention to DL and how he talks
Uh huh.
based off of his social media, and I
Yeah.
can only imagine what he may have said backstage.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at, at Monique for responding like she did.
Uh
Fuck
huh.
him if that's how she felt, right?
Yeah. No. That
But
absolutely
at the
that. I
same
they're
but
both
at the
that
same
way.
time, they both need to target the promoter
They really do.
for duping both of them. And
They
but
one
at
hundred
this
percent do.
but two, like, don't like, I know they're trying to do the tit for tat. That's what
Yeah.
comedians do. They talk about each other, whatever.
Right. 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 Right.
But DL still don't. He still can't win over Monique. And then too, like, a memo. Stop it, sir. we're not we're not turning in memos as contracts these days, okay? But her
No.
contract said what it said,
Right.
and it is what it is. And unfortunately, the promoter needs to be held accountable for this
One.
because
I
now
that.
he or
That's
she
it.
has created a whole situation.
That is 100% it. The promoter is responsible for this debacle.
Hmm.
100%. So I mean, hopefully they get
But
it
one
resolved.
thing though, did you hear DL's response to on stage? Because I didn't even know he had a response.
No, I didn't. I didn't know you had a response either.
Well, he had a response. I guess let's hear
Oh,
what it hear what
let's
it
hit.
said. I mean, because I had no idea.
We can't talk about this because I'm not getting shit slapped out of me because y'all can't take a fucking joke. He slapped the shit out of that man in national TV and he started crying. The fuck, did you hurt your hand? Let me tell you something. If you don't want people telling jokes about you, stop telling your goddamn business. How about that? Shut the fuck up sometimes. I want to go on red table, bitch. You better talk to this kitchen table. We ain't living this good because those set it off as it. Well, shut the fuck up, shit. It's been an interesting week for black people, a couple of months, man. Bill Cosby was released from prison. As soon as he got out, he could see again. Just
Okay, I guess that's what was supposed to be after.
Oh
My
well, I
bad.
don't know.
Long
I
story
don't know.
short, they both got duped,
They
but
got duped.
there's
One
no
hundred
way
percent.
that if I was the promoter,
Uh
there's
huh.
no way DL would be the closer. And I have produced plenty of comedy shows,
Hmm.
one even for Jamie Foxx and his crew. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that depending on the crowd or like where they are, like it could alternate. But I don't. I don't. I can. I think there's an argument for both of them being the headliner.
if I had to put both of them side by side, we signed on the same day,
Uh huh.
whatever the situation is. Now to pick who was going to be the closer, it's not going to be DL.
No,
That's just me.
I hear you.
That's just me.
I hear you. You know, you are a He-Man woman hater.
Who would
I'm
you
just
pick?
I'm
It's
just
not that.
joking.
But who would you pick?
I think it depends on where I am. I think if we're doing
We
a
in Las
show,
Vegas, Nevada.
if we're in Las Vegas, Nevada, um, Friday night 8 o'clock
No, one
show,
night. Yep. Mhm.
like Friday night 8 o'clock show, one show only. I'd probably put Monique as the closer.
Okay.
But if
That's
we're
not.
in St. Louis on a
Is that where he's
Friday,
from?
I think he's from the Midwest. Yeah. If we but
If
if we're
if
like,
we're in his hometown, then Monica isn't performing. like,
why
like
is she not performing? Why in this scenario
I
does she
think
not
that
perform in his hometown?
I think that the promoter needed to do a better job at understanding who he's putting together, and
Right.
then too, like, understanding that the coonish behaviors that this dude has been expressing the past three
What
years, and
coonish
then couple.
behavior do you mean specifically? For example.
He was talking about things about the president. He was talking about other things. Hold on, looks like we got a call.
Hey,
I'm
come
gonna
on,
see if I
caller.
can answer. You let me know if you can hear this. Caller, you're live right now on the Shady ST.
I can't hear anything. Oh, I want
Sir,
to talk to you.
can you hear the caller?
No, I cannot hear anything.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Toya. Good. How are you? I think that I think that we don't know what he said to her. Like, had he like if he was like, Itch, you don't think I can like you think that you would go before me? Like if he was like I don't know what he said to her backstage. Um and then two, she may have had people there that thought she was closing. So she may have felt like she needed to address it. Would I personally have addressed it maybe later?
Right.
Um I don't know. I don't know what he said to her. So I don't know how I would
I
react.
think that if she,
Or
I
or but you know what? It could have also been too because I guess it was a delay between the person who was before them and by the
right.
time that they got on stage. So she
Uh-huh.
may have needed to address it. That may
Right.
have been the reason.
Right. I think that
Can you hear, sir? Toya, can you hear, sir?
can you hear me, Toya? Am I coming in clear? I
Sir,
can't
go
hear
ahead
you.
and speak and then I'll let her know what you said.
Okay, so I think that in this situation, I personally probably would have addressed it on stage. I think I would have 100% in that situation said something. Only because I feel like I may not have had an opportunity to say something after, and I'm not real interested in saying something on the internet. Like I would have said it in the moment when the person was there that pissed me off. And then if we would have went to the internet, that's fine. But I would have definitely said something that night.
So sir says that he thinks that he would have said something to her in that moment, to the state on the stage in
Yeah,
that
at
moment.
that moment. Yeah, if whether I was her or him, I would have said something. If I was him, and she said something
Hold on,
back.
sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The thing is, the thing is, DL said some things on his post after that happened that were kind of like, like the thing is, he's like, oh, you have a problem with Tyler, you have a problem with Lee, you have a problem with them,
Right.
but if we can really be clear, everyone's apologized to her for being the problem, other than Oprah.
And
Like
Oprah's not going to apologize.
yeah, Oprah, like, I'm good. You know what I mean? And that's whatever is understandable. Maybe they'll have a conversation later,
Right.
in years later. But whatever
Right.
the case is that he's trying to bring up things to make her look worse when the reality is that she's a black woman who spoke up. And oftentimes when black women speak their mind and express that there's a problem, they
Uh
are
huh.
always sunned or shunned, in certain circumstances. And
So this
so
couldn't be a professional.
a lot of black women in entertainment choose to be quiet, where
Uh huh.
Monique is just not that person. She's like, I'm not about to be quiet about this. Y'all did
So
this to
you think
me.
this is sexist? Like you think he's doing it because she's a woman? You don't think he
Yes.
sees her as an equal and is like this
Oh,
is just
absolutely. He
a
absolutely does
person?
not. He absolutely does not see her as an equal. And I'm sorry, Toya. You have anything else before we go? All right. Thank you.
I don't know if it's because she's a woman. I really don't. I don't think that's it. I don't think that is because she's a woman. It's because she's a black woman. I don't think
I
that that's
think that
the.
his response to it was because of that. Now, initially, he probably just thought he was better than her. Like
Yeah, which is fine.
but I think that the way that he responded to it was
Uh huh.
now like, oh, this woman, she got a problem with everybody type
Uh
of
huh.
thing. It wasn't that, it may not have been that initially. It may have just been, I'm a better comedian. Why do you think that I should go first? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
Versus by the time he got to social media and
Mm-hmm.
decided to, make all of these comments
Right.
and things like that, it turned to this black woman always talking about stuff.
I really do. I think that maybe it was him trying to prove a point. Which I mean, he used past things, which is what you do when you prove a point. I don't think it was an attack on this particular black woman. I think it was an attack on this black woman, but I don't think it was because she's a black woman.
I think that
I
I
really
mean,
don't think that's
if
the
we like
case.
research history about black women who speak up about things that happen
Uh huh.
in
Right,
the
but just
entertainment
because black
industry,
women who speak up in the entertainment industry have been shunned doesn't mean that in this particular
all of them,
situation that's
all
what.
of them,
No, I'm just saying what I'm
every
saying is
single
that it
one.
doesn't mean that in this particular situation that's what was happening.
Yeah, I think that it didn't happen initially, but my personal
Uh
opinion is that it for sure happened when he decided to go to social media. He's like, "Oh, she an angry black woman. She got problems with everybody," and
oh, okay,
I don't really appreciate that. And I think that a lot of people treat Monique that way because she has spoken up,
okay.
and I
Now
feel like
I don't disagree with that. I
mhm.
do not disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
I think she has a reputation, and so people come into interactions with her kind of bracing for an impact when they're like, oh well, she's gonna say something, you know, and I don't think that that's fair to her, you know, her having that reputation just because she stood up for herself because she you know she has boundaries.
Hmm.
But again, I don't think that DL was particularly doing that in this situation. I think that's happened to her.
I
All the
think that
people he mentioned have done that to her, but I don't particularly
I
think he
think that
was.
in learning how he communicates and how he freely thinks about things,
Uh huh.
I believe it. I believe that he's a sexist. I believe that he is, like I said, ish, and I think that he you know, I'm not really a fan, but you know, I mean, I think that he deserves respect based off of where he's
Right.
been in life.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. We can close, I guess, on that because
Okay, we'll close the case on that. Monique won.
we, I don't think there's any winners when the family feuds. Okay.
They ain't family, child. Don't even mention that to Monique. She gonna be like, "Oh hell no." Although she did say, you know, and I still love you. You know, she
Yeah,
was like, "I still love
that's
you."
Monique. That's one of my favorite things. She's
And
very
the
antsy
thing
with
is
that.
that I have had disputes with people. I still love you, but this is
Hmm.
how I feel about how that situation happened.
Right.
And you know, it ain't no harm, no foul. But if you take it as though it's harm, in fact, you know, it's harmful to you, I
Right.
can't do anything with that. I told you how I felt about it.
Right.
I'll still love you, but you know, it is what it
I
is.
still love you. Okay. So I'm gonna read this out loud,
Okay.
and when I read the headline, I had to read it a couple times, not out of like shock, but out of like I wanted to make sure I was reading it correctly. Waka Flocka gets an honorary professor degree along with Jesse Jackson. So Waka Flocka Flame
From the
has,
same school?
yes, he received an honorary professor degree in humanitarianism and philanthropy from the Bible Institute of America. He also has an honorary doctorate, so he can he can teach at a university now.
I don't
Um,
can you really? With an
yeah, he can.
honorary degree?
He can. He 100%
Oh,
can
we need to
teach.
use a Google on that because I am not signing up. If you listen, I'm trying to get some real
Why?
knowledge here. We're not
Well, no, and
honorary
see,
degreeing me.
here's the thing. Okay, so his teacher, Apostle Bridget C. Outlaw, she didn't like his music initially, but she stated that he is one of the brightest minds of this generation, and
And
that
I agree that he's extremely knowledgeable.
mhm. And that so she was saying that he is, yes, he has the music that he has, but he, like, if you get with him and talk to him, that he can really definitely teach you some things. And so they gave him this degree, but and then she implied that he had a potentially a professorship at Harvard. So I was honestly thoroughly impressed.
Isn't JT's teaching a class at Harvard?
From the City
From City
Girls,
Girls. Yeah. She's teaching
what's she
some
teaching?
class. I forgot what the class. I forgot. It has something to do with marketing or something like
I was like,
that.
it got to be marketing.
Yeah.
It got to be marketing. So yeah, I think that
But
it's
JT might have a degree though. I mean, I know you need to have a PhD in order to, you know, teach on a college level, but who knows, child? Maybe it's a certificate class. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not trying to. I like the City Girls. I'm not even trying to like be on that. I'm just trying to say,
uh-huh.
no, yeah,
I hear you.
that. Mhm.
But I think that is super impressive that he has his a profession. So the honorary doctorate doesn't allow you to teach, but the professor degree
Mm.
does. And so now that he has that degree, he can go in and teach. I want to read one of the quotes from his teacher. She says, you'd have to sit for hours to talk about his intellectual generosity. He is not only one of the greatest thinkers of this generation, and I know this generation loves his music, but you guys need to be in tune with his mind. I've never listened to his music. When I first met him through my younger brother, I wasn't impressed. He already knows the story, but something about Dr. Waka, because he's a doctor, started to put an impression on my heart because not only is he a philosopher, he will be one of the greatest professors that Harvard University has ever seen. So that's where she implied that he's going to be teaching at Harvard
Sign
about
me up.
humanitarianism. Me
Sign me
too.
up for the class. Let me see what's really going on.
I would definitely
Okay,
sign
Waka
up for a
Flocka.
Waka
Listen,
Flocka
I
class.
just remember I bought some tickets to go see Waka Flocka, although
Hmm.
Drake was the headliner.
Okay,
Okay.
you
I
bought the
went to
tickets to go
see
see
I
Waka.
was front row to see Waka Flocka. He was like the opener. It was like 2 Chains and then Waka Flocka, J. Cole, and Drake. And
Hmm.
I was front row to see Waka Flocka. Like seriously. I was like, you know what, this is what it is. So I was there. I actually some of those pictures just came up recently. My sister was second row. I was first row.
Hmm.
And I was there to see Waka Flocka. I didn't give a damn about Drake or J. Cole.
He
And
said
then
none of that.
Two Chains was handing out 2 Chains money, and I still have it. And it was, but I just really liked Waka Flocka that much. I felt like his energy was good. Like,
Right.
he was a good performer. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
So I
I'm here
mean,
for it. I'm Sign
shouts
me up
out
for
to
the
Waka.
class.
Right. Shouts out to Waka whenever you
Harvard,
teaching.
y'all gonna let me in or no? Like,
Or
what's
no, like, can I take it online? Do I have to like be on campus to take Waka's class? Because I want to hear it. I want
yeah,
to be there for that.
definitely.
So, so here in Houston,
Okay.
a young man. I want to make sure I get his name right. He has a name that's hard for me to pronounce. Iwuji.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His roommate,
Speak up.
uh, his roommate, Mr. Deloach,
Mm-hmm.
kidnapped him over the weekend. Um,
Agreed, Tip.
should be the first artist out
He
of the
should have
four.
been like the headliner because Drake wasn't even really popping. Like he was
Hmm.
popping, but I didn't go to see Drake. Anyway.
Anyway, so Iwuji this weekend, he kicked his roommate out because his roommate was $1,500 past due on rent. And so when he kicked him out, the roommate came back with a gun and kidnapped him and robbed him. So there's a video where he comes in the room and he comes into the house, into the kitchen, pulls the gun on him, opens his phone, unplugs the camera, and then that's all you see. So when he gets his phone, the roommate gets his phone, Mr. Iwuji's phone, and sends himself $6,000 from the man's phone. And then he takes him into the room, puts a blanket on the chair, has him sit down on the chair, ties him to the chair, and then he puts him in the trunk, takes him to Walmart to get some duct tapes him in the trunk of his own Range Rover, of Mr. Iwuji, the person getting kidnapped, in the back of his own Range Rover, and then drives him 25 miles and gets out of the car. Now, I'm going to say this to you, and I'm sorry that this man got kidnapped. It sounds like you got kidnapped by your boyfriend. It's
I
to
wasn't
me.
gonna say, but I was gonna say. Okay. It sounded like it was some lovers
Right?
quarrels
It
going on
sounds like
here.
a lover's quarrel. They met at the gym.
Which kind of gym?
Some gym. I don't know. Some gym. They didn't say what gym in Houston they met at, but they met at a gym here in
Mm.
Houston, and they moved in together. And he said when he pulled the gun on him, Mr. Wuji said when Mr. Deloach pulled the gun on him, he was like, you everything with you was so transactional. You just trying to use me. You trying to take advantage of me. And I'm like, you take advantage of you. Y'all roommates. How could he use your? You're supposed to be splitting the bills.
There has to be more to this story. Like seriously.
No, I swear this is the story. I was like, I couldn't when I was when I was watching and reading the story. I'm like, this man got arrested. I mean, kidnapped by his boyfriend. He kicked the nigga out because he was like, he thought you was gonna be living
Dollar.
with me. $1. Oh, he kicked the brother out. What a man, a brother.
So they were black, so we don't have to
They
play
were
a
black.
game.
Yeah, we don't
Okay.
have to play the game. They were black. Well, I definitely should have played him with Wuji and Deloach, but yeah, they were both black. They met at the gym, and he came in. Came in and unlocked the man's phone. So he had your phone. He had your password to your phone,
Or he uses face.
or he used his face. He
I
had the
use my
password.
sister's face sometimes when I'm engineering her show and I need to get her phone. She's like talking on air and I'm like,
Your
yeah,
face.
unlocks. But I do know the code too, but
Right.
Yeah.
He got into his safe. He knew the code to his safe. Um, I live with my brother. I've never had a roommate, but I live with my brother for years,
I'm pretty sure you
and
had a roommate. Pretty sure.
I've never had a roommate.
I'm pretty sure you had a roommate.
I am hanging up. I think I appreciate y'all coming to my TED talk.
No, I'm pretty sure you had a roommate for at least the past 10 years.
I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the day. I'm not gonna do that on this on this good
No,
Tuesday.
I'm not even trying to be. I'm like, like if I have a partner, like essentially, I guess it's really like that's your roommate. You
No,
know
I
what I
mean like
mean?
somebody I wasn't sleeping with.
Yeah, but I'm
You know,
trying to say, we're trying to say that this man really
right,
was engaging in a whole passionate relationship with this man after
right.
you met him at the bathhouse.
They met at the gym. They could have met in the sauna. They could have met on the
They
bench
sure could
press.
have.
They probably met at the squat rack. You know, he was out there getting it right for the summer. He was like, "All right, you can come on, move in with me, drive my Range
Shoot, a
Rover.
hoochie daddy summer is coming up. You got to get
It's
ready.
coming. It's
Well, I
absolutely
mean,
coming."
so oh boy got arrested.
He did. He got arrested. And I just here's the thing though. The man, he put you in the back of the trunk. So how the man got out of the trunk was that
He
he
must have been a
pressed the
little man.
No, he's not a little man.
So how in the heck did he get him in the trunk?
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you how he got out. He
Picture
told him
it,
to get
Sicily.
picture it, Sicily, 1937, right? He told him to get in the trunk. He gets to Walmart. So you stayed in the trunk the whole time he was in Walmart buying duct tape, or did you walk around Walmart with him while he was buying duct tape to duct tape you, and then got back in the trunk and let him duct tape you?
You don't think this sounds a little fishy?
Yes, it sounds very Jussie Smollett to me. It's given very because you remember when the Jussie Smollett thing happened? I was like, that sounds like a kink. It sounds like he wanted to get kidnapped, and you said it was Lee Daniels setting him up, but I said it sounded like a kidnapping fetish. Like that's a thing. People want to get kidnapped by a big
Don't
strong
don't
person.
don't listen. Those of you who are out there, don't
Mm-hmm.
try to pretend kidnap me. I'm not into it.
I'm not into
Okay,
it,
you will get
but
shots,
I
and then we'll really
100%
be in a
think.
situation.
But I think he did. Like he was like, okay, this is our day to do our little kinky stuff, and then he was like, oh yeah, by the way, you're
And
gonna have
maybe
to
that
move
was the
out,
maybe that was the fee.
right? And he no,
Maybe
and I
the
think
six
I think he told him he
thousand
was
was
gonna
the
move out.
fee.
I think the 6,000 was part of it, right? Like, okay, we're gonna do it, like yeah, like a fee or whatever. But but also he was like, well, I told him to move out. Like, no, I'm not moving out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like so he left him in the trunk. He didn't even shoot him. He didn't pistol whip him. He didn't attack. Like he just held the gun on him, and so he got out by pressing the unlock button in the trunk. So I'm like, it really does sound like this was something y'all planned together, and it may just went awry when you told him he got to move out. And he was like, fuck that. I'm keeping this $6,000. You finna stay in this fucking trunk. Fuck you. Okay? Watch who you pick up in gyms next time.
Well, okay. Well, we can close the case on that. He gone. He locked up.
I want to say rest in peace to Masterpiece daughter, Tatiana Miller. I'm sorry. That's just anytime someone's kid dies or anybody dies, it's just sad. She was 29.
I heard a clip of her earlier today where she
Mm-hmm.
was on Growing Up Hip Hop,
Uh-huh.
and on the show, she sound like she was high, and I guess they were trying to convince her to go to rehab.
Yeah.
And her dad was like, "Hey, we really think this will be helpful to you."
Right.
She was like,
Right.
"Well,
Right.
I don't
Right.
think she was like, I can do that on my own. I don't really need to go to rehab for that." So, uh,
Yeah. It's still sad. Oh, it's sad. So
yeah.
just hope, just to their family, best wishes to their family. I hope they get it. Excuse me. I'm like dying over here. I hope they get it. Hope they recover from that and they can mourn their family in peace.
For sure, for
100%.
sure.
Let me see what else I got for y'all this evening. Let me look and see.
Man,
Cause
it's been like light. work. But what I do want to talk about real quick though
Hmm.
is shout out to the Four Fee fellas that came in last week and hung out with
Absolutely.
us.
Chico Spitz, Ogino.
Ogino and Chico Spitz, like thank y'all for coming through. And those of you who, if you haven't finished watching For a Fee yet, don't forget you can watch it on Tubi. Okay,
Yes, you
Tubi is
can.
free. You can watch season 2, episode 1 through 8. It's For a Fee, based off Las Vegas life, I guess. I don't know about
Right.
that life. Okay,
Right.
I'm a thug on the inside, but not on the outside.
We're gonna say she doesn't know about that life, you guys. We're gonna let her live this fantasy she's living right now.
Like I'm a real thug.
Right. We're gonna let her live this fantasy, and that's okay. Everybody's gonna live their own fantasy. Everyone's gonna be the hero in their own story. Did you hear about this young lady? Her name. What is her name? Moses Ingram from
No.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's a black lady. And anytime somebody black in Star Wars, the Star Wars people go crazy
Okay.
and start being racist to the lady. They told her she was a token hire, that her days are numbered. She started getting death threats just because she was black in the Star Wars, child. That's why I watch Star Trek, because it's always been black people on Star Trek. It has. It has always been black. It's always been black people on. It's been black women on Star Trek for sure. Black men. Star Wars is that's where the racist people are. I'm like, I'm not interested. How y'all gonna immediately her video, her response to it was like, I don't know why people are mad. There's nothing they can do about it. I'm in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on the show. They're not gonna change the show because you mad because I'm black. But I don't know. I feel like, how do you feel about stuff like that where it's like, okay, this is this mega franchise and they add somebody black to it for whatever reason, for diversity, for inclusion, and then the major fan base is like, fuck that, get that colored person out of the building.
I
Like, how
mean,
do
that's how that's how we were treated about rock and roll, country
right,
music. I
right.
mean, like we have one of the most popular country singers. What's the guy's name? Black dude. He's young. He's actually doing a concert here. I think it's this week.
Kane
Um,
Brown.
yes, yes, that's him.
Yeah.
And like they are so mad at him. I'm like, they were mad at Lil Nas X when he came out. They're like, oh no,
Right.
he's not. That's not a country song. You got a whole freaking country superstar on the
Right.
song with him. Like
Right. Right. Right.
it's a whole country song. Like
Right.
I don't understand the issue here. But but we obviously know it has to do with the color of our skin, of course,
Right.
and it's unfortunate.
I don't understand why, like, and I mean, I guess I understand. I don't understand. I'm not gonna ever understand racism. Like, it's just not something that makes sense to me. Not liking somebody because their skin is not the same color as yours just doesn't make sense. But like, sending death threats to somebody you've never met because they're black in a show you like, sir or madam, I need you to go do something else with your life. Like, how is your life so affected by the presence of another human being that you don't even know that you are? Because I always think, I'm like, what's going to happen when I get my first death threat? Am I going to laugh? Am I going to feel like actually threatened? Because I mean, I've been.
Being black is I think I have this post on my Facebook page. It said
Mm,
being black is lit, but it's hella dangerous.
right. It's dangerous, but it's
Like
kind of lit
it's
though.
dangerous being black. Just
It
like being
100%
black,
is.
and even like this whole like past week. Yesterday, I'm rewriting a book that I wrote a long time ago,
Hmm.
and I was like, you know what, let me go like to a coffee shop or something, like
Right.
sit and write and be able to look at some scenery, whatever.
Right.
And I felt like, yo, somebody can come up and shoot me. Like, what if somebody drives by and shoots me? Like I'm really thinking to myself, like, just because I'm sitting here black by
Right.
myself, what could really happen? And I think that that's a fear that a lot of us are having happen to us now, and
Yeah.
we're trying to feel and process through it. And
Right.
then people who are older, they probably been dealing with this for a long time.
And they
But
absolutely.
especially if they're being like they're being brought into this media thing again,
Hmm.
now it's like now they're reliving it, and it's probably worse. Like I think that we may very well be in a worse time.
In a worse time than like the civil rights time, than like the
90s,
60s.
90, the 1900s when you were born.
I was born in the 1900s, you guys.
I just think I,
1900
I think I think
and
people are disrespectful. People
mm-hmm,
don't communicate effectively,
mm-hmm.
and I think that people are racist, and it is what it is. Real quick before we go though, I do want to
Yeah.
play this child, this clip. Ti son, child.
Oh, listen. He at the Waffle House. This is how you. This is how you behave at the Waffle House. Okay.
Is that your final answer?
Yes. He. What is he? 18. This is how you behave at the Waffle House when you're 18.
I'm sorry. I've never behaved any way like this when I
At the
was
Waffle House.
anywhere. Yes, never. I'm very polite actually when I go to the Waffle House. I went to Waffle House one time, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, and this dude comes up, he's like, "Oh, this is gonna be our first date." Put like a little flower on the table, sat down, we ordered our food. I was like, it's 3:30 in the morning. I just wanted some cheese grits, okay? But this is not what happened with King. King had a whole lot to tell the server, and I don't line cooks over where he was.
Stop talking. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File your shit. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. We out here. We out here. I'm outside. I'm outside. Come on, shake some. Come on, shake some. Come on, shake some. Hey, get your employees. Get your employees. Yeah, sucker something in this. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. And you still talking inside though. You still talking inside though. Why you inside? Can't stop me from doing shit. Doing shit. Let me get my food. Thank you. Just talking like they like that. They ain't like that. Before I get back here and pistol with me.
Alrighty then. Well, his daddy also had some things to say. So I want to let y'all know what his daddy had to say too. But man, do you think that's privilege?
I 100% think that's privilege. I think that is privilege at its finest. I think he was going up because he could. He knows who he is. He knows who his daddy is, and he was like, "What y'all gonna do? Like, what y'all really gonna do to me? Y'all just gonna post it, and you gonna try to get your life off of whatever I'm doing today."
Well, let's see what his daddy said.
Did little King get a whooping for going crazy in the Waffle House? Make sure you like the video.
I mean, of course I spoke with my son. Me and his uncles. We were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short order cook. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who was at such another level of life. Now, I had to explain to him that, when people are not living the way they hope they would live, and here you is walking in with so much freedom and luxury, and people gonna posture themselves a certain way. So therefore, you're gonna have to enjoy your life. You're gonna have to remove yourself from that energy and go enjoy your life.
So
I don't disagree with T.I.
okay.
I don't. I think that that's a good point he needs to make to his son, because he is, especially in this generation, people want to get on the internet, they want to go viral, they want to get famous, right? I think also another point that needs to be made is not just because you are who you are, but like you don't have to go back and forth with people at all. Like nobody is owed your energy.
Right. And first of all, you don't have to also go back inside and get the food that they probably didn't put their boogers in. Okay?
Right. Bury that.
I hope he did not eat that.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Goodness
I hope he didn't
gracious.
eat the food. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, that's the show for the day, y'all. Sir, where can the people find you on social media?
IG, the Sir Armstrong, and Facebook.
Alrighty. You can find me on every single social media platform at eCarice. That's ECARRICE, y'all. I guess we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. I need to get a shirt that say that.
For real, we should. Bye, y'all.
Bye.